बराह रास्त आपको ले चलेंगे। इस वक्त निगरां वज़ीर खारजा जलील अब्बास जिलानी की अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के हेडक्वार्टर्स में न्यूज़ कॉन्फ्रेंस जारी है।
That is being extended or which will continue to be extended to the people of Kashmir for their right, legitimate rights which have been guaranteed to them or mentioned in the relevant UN Security Council resolutions. So that is the impression that we have got during all the interactions that we have had, whether they were bilateral meetings or whether they were in the context of the overall ministerial meetings or the contact group on Kashmir. As a matter of fact, there was an expression of solid support for the Palestinian cause as well as the people of Palestine. Jammu and Kashmir again is certainly an issue of great importance. That's the core dispute between India and Pakistan. It is because of this issue that we have had tensions, conflicts and wars between our two countries. And then it is because of this factor and the kind of steps which India had taken on 5th August 2019 to further deny the Kashmiris their right, including the attempt being made by the Indian side to change the demographics of Jammu and Kashmir. That is something that is of great concern, not only to Pakistan but also people of Jammu and Kashmir. We would like to have peace with India, but at the same time, it will be contingent upon the resolution of Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the UN Security Council resolutions.
Mr. Azim Ammiya.
Mr. Secretary, Mr. Foreign Minister, sorry about that.
I was a secretary.
Yeah, that's why that reminds me. Okay. Now, today, the caretaker Prime Minister has used the strong words about genocide in India, at the hands of the Hindutva groups. So, and not only that, along with that, Kashmir has also been mentioned, and UN Security Council has been reminded about the resolutions. Don't you think that this will wage a diplomatic war of right to reply at the UN? And already India is already, facing a global situation regarding Canadian crisis. So what do you think, won't it inflame the Pak-India confrontation?
Well, you see, the point is that nobody can deny them to exercise their right to reply. We have no doubt about it. But then the point is that whether the stand which is taken by India in respect of this dispute, the core dispute, whether it is accepted by the international community or not. The UN does not accept India's claim that they have been making for a very long time about the UN map does not show Kashmir to be an integral part of India as is claimed by the Indian side. And then I would say, and I say this with full confidence, that the Indian position is not endorsed by any country in the world. Every country in the world, they have to go by the UN Security Council resolutions, and they accept this dispute as a dispute, internationally recognized dispute. You mentioned about the Canadian issue. This is a very unfortunate issue. We have been a victim of this phenomena for a very long time. I am talking about the assassinations being carried out by India in almost every South Asian country. But this is perhaps for the first time that it has gone global. And this is a very, very serious situation, and I think they will have to come clean on this, because as we see it, and as most of the members of the international community would see it, this is like the mask that they had coming off the Indian face, and having been exposed by this very, very serious crime that has been committed on the Canadian side.
Yes, please.
Lucas Chapman with Arab News. You mentioned the loss and damage fund, and obviously the kind of first litmus test for this fund is the reconstruction efforts in Pakistan after the devastating floods last year. Can you talk a little bit about sort of how has the international cooperation for the loss and damage fund been thus far, and how is this first test going?
Well, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, the Pakistan, along with other like-minded countries, had developed a consensus during COP27 about loss and damages, and also about the establishment of this fund, Climate Finance Fund. In addition to that, there was a donors conference that was held in Geneva beginning of this year, which was sponsored by the UN Secretary General. My understanding is that next week, perhaps on the 27th of this month, the Secretary General is going to convene a meeting in this building where all those countries who had taken part in the donors conference, they are going to meet, and they would certainly, he would present a report about the actualization of those commitments which were made by various countries. To be very honest, so far there has been very little which has been trickled down from the international community as far as the rehabilitation, reconstruction work that has to be carried out. Pakistan is doing that from within its own resources. Our banks are issuing loans on easy terms to all those people who were affected by but then obviously the banking industry has also, there are limits to what they can do. So this is the kind of a situation that we are in, and I think we are hopeful that most of the promises which were made by the donors, they would be fulfilled shortly.
Ms. Sadia Afzal.
Thank you so much. I'm Sadia Afzal. I'm from Suno News. My question to you, Mr. Prime Minister, is Prime Minister yesterday, he gave a very important statement at Council on Foreign Affairs that we do not wish to join any camp politics. So can you please elaborate us on foreign policy priorities and key partnerships in the current international landscape? Thank you.
You see, obviously the Prime Minister was referring to this tension which is developing, or rivalry that is being developed in the Asia-Pacific region, the formation of new blocs which are being made, and obviously it presents Pakistan with a very uncomfortable situation. Take, for example, the Asia-Pacific. Asia-Pacific has been a very peaceful region, prosperous region. It has made great economic strides in the last 40, 50 years. And any tension within the Asia-Pacific region, from our point of view, is certainly not good for peace and stability in that region. We would like to basically this region remain as peaceful as possible, so that economic opportunities which are available to Pakistan and other Asia-Pacific countries, they continue to grow. And there are obviously a number of regional connectivity projects which are also in the pipeline. Some are operational. So it was in that context that the Prime Minister mentioned that Pakistan would not become a part of. We have good relations with all countries of the world. This is the policy that enjoys a national consensus within the country. And we have a solid relationship with China. We have very close relationship with the United States of America, and also other regional countries of the region, and also Asia-Pacific countries, and we would like to continue with this trajectory in our future.
Mr. Iftikhar Chaudhry.
Thank you. Iftikhar Ali from Associated Press of
course.
Pakistan.
Thank you.
Mr. Foreign Minister, does India's involvement in this horrible murder in Canada have an impact on its campaign to get for a Security Council seat? Have any adverse effect on it?
Well, you know, the Security Council reforms, as you are aware, they have been going on this debate is going on for almost 3 decades now, and there has been no consensus. This is yet another kind of a feather in India's cap. I am not really sure because there are other dynamics which are in play as far as the UN Security Council reforms are concerned. It would certainly materialize in case there is a consensus within the international community. And obviously there is no consensus so far. Pakistan has certainly articulated its position on the UN Security Council reforms, and certainly we would like this process to be entirely democratic. We would like this to be more transparent, and also I think there is an overall consensus within this building, within the members of the UN
निगरां वज़ीर ख़ारजा जलील अब्बास जिलानी के अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के हेडक्वार्टर्स कॉन्फ्रेंस जारी है। इस वक्त वो सवालात के जवाब दे रहे हैं।
अभी सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि कोई खबर रह न जाए।